Good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. I think I had a little bit of a mic issue. Um, it is November 7th, 8:25 a.m. Lots going on this week, and let's get right into it. Um, we'll look at what's going on in the market right now. So let's look. So we have the VIX is up 3.58%. Okay, most likely this is due to CPI data this week in midterm elections tomorrow. Okay, Russell's up 0.42, the Dow's up 0.26, ES is up 0.21, Nasdaq up 0.20, and let's see what else. The TNX is about flat at up 0.07. The dollar is down. Crude is down. Crude's just nuts right now. Um, China keeps bouncing back and forth with their policies of zero tolerance for COVID. Every day there's a different report. It's crazy. It's making crude go crazy. So crude like really hit an important point. Most shared price of the year on Friday. We opened the gap down because of China saying that they're not going to reopen and they're not going to start like curbing their COVID policies. And then it shot right back up. Now it's crazy. So that's what's going on. China's just like making crude go wild. Um, as far as some stocks, I'll go over them really quickly. Meta is up 2.96. Meta is doing a mass layoff. Okay, trying to help their profits at the end of the day. That's catching a bid. Baba's got it, some of a bid. Now Apple got some very bad news. Their main supplier in China is being curbed from COVID, and they actually came out and said that they're going to have delayed shipments. That's not good. They're down 1.3% pre-market. Okay, Disney has earnings. I believe it's today after market. Yep, today after market. So be on the lookout for that. Um, Costco's down 1.56%. Now, is there news for that? Okay, looks like Wells Fargo cut cut the market perform at Wells Fargo. Okay, that's why that's going on. Look at the sectors really quickly. Communications is up. That's Meta, basically probably driving that. Financials 0.59, and then we don't really have any negative per se sectors today. That's about it for that. All right, real quick, let's get into the big news for the week. All right, so we have Fed speak today, Mester. Um, not that's really there's not much today, but tomorrow's midterm elections. That's not here, but that's what tomorrow is. So that should let's see how that moves the market. Okay, and then Wednesday more Fed speak, but Thursday that's where you have the CPI data come out and initial jobless claims. So we'll get this core CPI, the year over year, the month over month. They're saying that they're forecasting actually a rise in year over year to 8.2. Or actually, I think that was last month. They're forecasting 8.0. My bad. So they're actually tick down, but month over month, they're actually expecting a tick up. So we'll see. This is definitely a big market mover for Thursday. Okay, huge. And then with the midterm elections tomorrow, and then we have Michigan consumer expectations and consumer sentiment on Friday. Okay, that's the outlook for the news. Very big movers, market movers. Okay, today might be quiet because of midterm elections tomorrow, but I'm not really sure. And obviously Thursday is going to be huge, 8:30 in the morning on Thursday. Okay. Real quick, there's obviously a tale two markets going on, and let's get right into that. Okay. I just wanted to show, obviously the Dow and the SPY don't look anything alike, right? I mean, if you look at the SPY, it's kind of holding its own, right? And then you have the Dow. Dow just had a record month. I think it went up 14% last month. So look at that. That doesn't even look like that bad of a market, right? Hitting its 200-day moving average again. And then you have the Qs, which is holding down the market with just a huge weight in the S&P. So this is a drag on the market, right? No surprise there. The heavyweights. Okay, but just to give you guys a brief thing that I always like to look at is the sectors. All right, and just let's look at them. What's weak, right? Look at communications. It is literally at the lows, right? Looks really bad. That's Meta. That's Google. Okay. Financials doesn't look that bad, right? So it's like a tale of two markets here. Heavily tech is just so weak, right? So financials doesn't look that bad. Energy is a monster, and actually energy now has more percentage of the S&P. It's up to 5.4% of the S&P, so it's actually a little bit more of a mover in the SPY. Okay. Industrials also, look at that, is over the 200 moving average. And discretionary, we got, that's Amazon, Home Depot, and Tesla. Tesla's been a little weak. Amazon's been very weak. That's the weakness holding down this market, right? Healthcare, look at that, off the lows, across the 200-day moving average. Staples, of course, defensive, but not that weak. And then we got basic materials off the bottom. Semiconductors, weak, but seem to be getting a little stronger. They've been beaten down a lot, but seems to be getting a little stronger. And obviously, technology, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, weak. All right, not as weak as communications, but weak. Utilities, off the bottoms. Real estate's actually not as strong. But that's just our market right now. So that's why there's so much push and pull in this specifically the ES, the SPY, because sectors are fighting each other. All right. Just wanted to show everybody that it's just not all out bearish, this market. Let's go back to the SPY. So you can see it was a lot of volatility on Friday. Up, we went back down, then we went back up. So we basically have this trend line acting as support as well as 370. And basically resistance was the 9 EMA daily and the 50 moving air that we hit the 50 on Friday. All right, let's go on the SPY. Let's go with the Qs. Qs, we have this trend line here that's acting as resistance. You can clearly see every time you come up to it, boom, hit down, 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 down. And here's our low for the year, and we haven't been able to make a new one. So of course we got weak on Friday after opening up here, right? Coming all the way down, coming all the way back up, and closing up here, right? And we closing on the key level. This 266 level was a strong support. Now acted as resistance. Okay. Moving averages are above it. So because it's just much weaker than the SPY. Okay. So we have to see how these come and play. Now right now, we're up slightly in pre-market. Okay. Let's look at the triple headed monster. 10-year yields. We're in a range here. Okay, we're in a range. It's up. It's in an uptrend, but it's in a range. We're waiting. CPI data, midterm elections. Okay. Now the VIX, like I said, I think just you can see we closed down here, and now we opened here. That's why it's up so much. But there's a lot of data coming out this week. That's why the VIX is pricing in that risk. All right, and then we got the dollar, which the dollar is in a little bit of a downtrend here. That's going to be good for commodities, and it's actually good for equities. Okay. All right, so we looked at that. So let's go and look at some futures. Give me a sec while I pull that up. All right. All right. So let's see what we have going on here. Okay. So in the 24-hour um, charts, okay, the most traded price of the month and the week are the same, which this now has become a huge wall, a bull bear line. Okay, that price is 37.27. So you want to see the ES stay above this level. If we continue to stay above this level, that's bullish. Okay. Now the most traded price of the week, still for the RTHS, and is up here. Okay. That's just the real time trading hours, not 24-hour trading hours. That's 38.83. Call it 38.80. Okay. So that's, we have our profile here, and you can see it's really heavily weighted lower with value and volume just because of this price down here. Okay. But the longer we stay above it, we could possibly move back up here. Okay. That's what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at today is we have a big session on Friday. We have the highs here, we have the lows here. Today, price right now is at 37.89, right here. And you can see we're right inside this high volume node. That's really another, we have to get over this in order to go higher. Okay, this has really been sticky and haven't been able to really establish value over this level. So there's two big levels. Okay, we have the high volume node, call it 37.95. This area, it's an area. Okay, and then we have our most traded price of the month, most traded price of the week down here. Okay, what we also could do is ping pong between these levels until the data comes out on Thursday. But what I'm seeing right now is we have a week high here now. Look at that. We have an overnight high in the high from Friday. Okay, and we still have this area here that we have to get over. So if we do get over this could be a nice point to move higher. Okay, and like I said, if we go below this, that is not good. Okay, but we're inside prices here. We're inside the session of Friday. We are pretty much, I would say that's 50%. I would say we're probably 85% net long overnight. Okay, it's kind of setting up, if there's a little bit of weakness, it is setting up for possibly a fade. Okay, because everybody pretty much, we opened here and we came down here, but then everybody's long overnight, and here's a lot of the volume here. So if we pop down here, this could be a nice short. Okay. All right, let's look at the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, most traded price of the month, we have 11,100. That's a bull bear line. Okay. Most traded price of the week is 10,800 right here. So a lot of volume building down here, right? So in the NASDAQ, we really need to get out of this area, move higher for us to go higher. Okay? Really need to get out of here. You don't want to see us below this level, because there's just a bunch of lows down here that could get broken. Okay? Now, we also have a weak high in the NASDAQ, and the supply zone has also been acting as supply multiple times. Okay, we can't seem to bust out of it. Okay, so this is the high from Friday and the low from Friday. Price is here at 109.23. We're inside the session of Friday. Okay, same thing in the ES. Basically, we opened here, came down here, and now everybody's long, and there's the volume to prove that's the most traded price overnight. So again, like I said, this could be a nice pop fade off if we can't break out. Okay, all right, let's move over to the hourly charts. Let me pull those up for you guys. Let's just look at some levels here. A little more levels than I'd like to have on my chart, but it seems to be all important. Okay, so we're trying to hammer at a bottom here. We got a low, then a higher low, right? So market is really being resilient here, especially with that hawkish Fed, right? So keep that in mind. Hawkish Fed, and we still can't take down this market. Okay. The only thing I would really, it's going to be a stick in everybody's side today is Apple being weak. That's real hard to really get bullish when Apple's weak. So just to put that in there, that's a really hard thing to see. If you see Apple weak, but then the rest of the market strong, that's like you want to see Apple strong, you know. So clearly, we have a 3805 resistance level. Here's that high volume node that I said that we just can't seem to get over, and now we have a nice resistance, 3805. Okay, so that's why if price can come up here, pop and hold it, at least look for 3821. Okay, and as far as support, we have this little level holding here, this little range here that's happening overnight right here. So that's 3786 for support. This was just a key level we broke out that could act as support, 3775, and then 3759 as support. Okay, but the key level, 3805, is that resistance. Okay, let's look at the NASDAQ. Okay, so the NASDAQ, this key level, okay, is 109.87. Okay, you can see here that I talked about before, the supply zone has just acted as resistance multiple times. It can't get out of it, can't break it. So that's why this 109.87 level is very key. If you break that level, you're at least going to go up to the most traded price of the month at 11,100. We're at least going to probably make it up here. And then what do we do from here, right? So 109.87 is very key for the whole market because it takes such a huge weight that if we break that level, everything's going to go higher. Okay. We have the little range again, so immediate support is 109.01. Okay. And then we have our most traded price of the week down here with a 108.15 support level, as far as a 107.84 support level, that if we chomp through all that, yeah, we could fall to 106.67 support. Like I said, you have most traded price of the month here and the week here, and you know maybe we break out of here and we come back. We could bounce between these two areas. I'm not sure. So it's just very important levels. It's really basic what I'm going to be looking at today, which makes it easier. Okay, so I'm gonna go back there and open this back up. Now I'm gonna go over to maybe some easy scenarios today, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so off the bat, I'm gonna go with my first thing I said, the fade. Now it's looking like it's starting to happen already. I, trading off the open is always tough, but this is definitely in the cards for a fade. Okay, and I'll just simply give the scenario. Okay, price is 37.86 right now. It's right here, and I explained this before, but I'll explain it again. Key levels 38.05. We got the weak high here. Okay. Okay, we have this high volume node range here. That's been really tough to get up through. That's just confluence for me. We have monthly VWAP here too. Okay. See how it all comes together? These are all resistant areas. All building a thesis, right? Like, so if nobody has market profile or whatever, they're not seeing this resistance, they might be seeing the monthly VWAP. They might be seeing this high volume composite node from the past. The 9 AME daily is also here. Just a lot of resistance there. Okay, so being that I said that, I also said that everybody is long. The whole overnight session is long. So all that means is we have buyers all the way up here. And if we can't make it past this area, okay, and price comes down, and it doesn't matter where we open up, but if price comes down and starts to violate 37.86, and this is the most traded price on Friday, right? And we come down, pop this 37.75 area and break it, we're definitely at least going down here. Okay, because everybody is long right now. They're going to get hurt. And this doesn't mean bearish for the day. It just means that's a nice trade off the open. Okay. That just means it's a nice trade off the open. That's going to be similar in the NASDAQ. Okay. I think it's a cleaner trade right now, probably in the ES, but like both are there. Okay. So what else can I see? All right. I talked about that ping pong effect. This area has been very resistant. This area should act as support. Okay. And if this market's going to balance before CPI, those are the levels we're going to bounce in between. Okay. So it doesn't matter. If we can come up here and we can't get above, we're going back down to here. If we can't break 37.17 and we're going to wind up going back up again and maybe balancing somewhere in the middle, because we have midterm elections and the CPI data coming out. So that's just the outside in trading. Okay. Now the extremes. Let's go with the extreme scenarios if this does happen for some reason. And it's very easy. Very, very easy. That's why I have these levels, right? Most traded price of the month here. And the most traded price of the week, right? A very strong level. So if the market comes down, goes beneath it, starts holding beneath it, that makes us go down. Okay? That could make us break and go down. How far? I don't know, but that could make us drop. Not saying that's in the cards, but it's just such a huge level that could possibly happen, right? Same thing with the upside. This weak high here. Okay? All this resistance stuff I talked about earlier. If we can come up, pop above it, hold it, we're gonna go higher. So that's why these areas are so key, right? They're breakout areas, but there also could be a support and resistance area if we're gonna wait for more information for later in the week. Okay. Hope this is all making sense. That's what I'm looking for today. All right. Now, let's look over at the NASDAQ. It's going to be very similar. It's not going to be much different. And we'll go with that off the open again. We got the supply zone I mentioned already to you guys earlier that kept being resistant, right? We have the 109.87 area. That's the key resistance area. So if the market comes up here and we can't pop above it and we start going back and see this volume here, and we break under the 109.01 area and hold it, okay, I can see us going back at least to 108, 10,800, the most traded price of the week. And again, this is not a straight up bear trade. It just means that we're going to correct the overnight inventory because everybody's long. And they're going to take profits and they're going to get their stops run. I'm hoping it, for me, if I want to take that trade, I don't want to see it happen off the first 2 minutes. But I'd like to see a slow little grind and then get weak and then boom. Remember Apple's weak. So we have to see, right? We have to see. And then of course the same thing I said, a good old bounce, waiting for information. So come up here, still pop above maybe, and can't. We're gonna go back down. Probably bounce off here. If we go down here, hit this demand zone 106.67, we pop a low, but we can't hold it. We're gonna go down here and we're gonna balance. Wait for more information. So those are possible shorts and longs here. Okay, and then we got the extremes. Okay, we got those extremes. Come down. This level's very key to break, but then we have this 167 level, and then we could fall. This is just scenarios. Remember, it doesn't mean it has to happen. You have to be prepared for it. We have weak highs here in this huge resistance level. This is very important that I talked about that. If we can come, let's just say we did this, boom, and came back up with volume, and the market's strong, and we break this level, man, and we got single prints up here we can go to, man, we can go up to what is that, 110.67. But we have to see that market strong, right? So that's it for me. That's the areas I'm looking at, pretty much highs and lows. Okay, pretty much highs and lows of Friday is where I'm looking at, with a bunch of other inflection points. All right, please give me a like if you guys like what you heard and are gathering something from it, and give me a subscribe if you haven't already. Share with other trading friends. I want to continue doing these. They help myself. Hopefully, they're helping some of you guys. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. Wish everybody to have a green day today. And I'll be back. All right. Take it easy, guys.